सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् कंटिन्यू
वेदो नित्यमतीयतां तदुदितं कर्म स्वनुष्ठीयतां तेने शस्य विधीयताम् अपचिति काम्ये मतिस्त्यज्यतां पापौघपर्यूयतां भवसुखे दोषोऽनुसन्धीयताम् आत्मेच्छा व्यवसीयतां निजगृहा तूर्णं विनिर्गम्यतां संगस्सस्तु विधीयतां भगवतो भक्तिदृढादीयतां शान्त्यादि परिचीयतां दृढतरं कर्मांशु सन्त्यज्यतां सद्विद्वानुपस्पृप्यतां प्रतिदिनं तत्पादुका सेव्यतां ब्रह्मैकाक्षरमर्त्यतां श्रुतिशिरो वाक्यं समाकर्ण्यतां वाक्यार्थश्च विचार्यतां श्रुतिशिर पक्षसमाश्रीयतां दुस्तर्कात् सुविरम्यतां श्रुतिमतस्तकोऽनुसन्धीयतां ब्रह्मास्मिति विभाव्यताम् अहरः गर्वपरित्यज्यतां देहेऽहं पद्मतिरुच्यतां मधुजनैर्वादपरित्यज्यतां शुद्ध्यादिश्च चिकित्स्यतां प्रतिदिनं भिक्षौषधं भुज्यतां स्वाद्वन्नं तु याच्यतां विधिवशात् प्राप्नेन सन्तुष्यतां शीतोष्णादिविषयतां न तु वृथा वाक्यं समुच्चार्यताम् औदासीन्यमभीप्स्यतां जनकृपा नैष्ठुर्यमुत्सृज्यताम् एकान्ते सुखमास्यतां परतरे चेतसमाधीयतां पूर्णात्मासु समीक्षतां जगदिदं तद्वादितं दृश्यतां प्राक्कर्म प्रविलाप्यतां चितिबला नाप्युत्तरै श्लिष्यतां प्रारब्धं विह भुज्यताम् अथ पर ब्रह्मात्मना स्थीयताम्.
Okay. So in the last class we saw what was Shruti Shiro Vakya Samakarnyatam. Okay. So for the benefit of all, we'll quickly read that two lines. Sangasatsu vidhiyatam bhagavato bhaktirdridhadhiyatam शान्त्यादिः परिचीयतां दृढतरं कर्माशु सन्त्यज्यतां सद्विद्वानुपसृप्यतां प्रतिदिनं तत्पादुका सेव्यतां ब्रह्मैकाक्षरमर्त्यतां श्रुतिशिरो वाक्यं समाकर्ण्यताम्. So after sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, once enough vairagya is there. Viveka is very clear and firm, and there is reasonably good amount of vairagyam, and the focus is on mumukshutvam. That is a time vanaprastha is left and gone to sannyasa, and you search for a teacher who himself is a sampradaya with guru for learning and understanding what is mentioned in the Shruti as moksha sadhana. What can give moksha? And Shruti will clearly tell that it is ignorance which is giving you bandhaka. So jnanam only will give you moksha, which means I need the guru. The guru has to sampradaya with guru. I have to learn consistently for a period of time under a guidance of an able teacher. That Shruti Vakyam, which is the Mahavakyam for Advaita, that is what we will learn. Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, what do they actually mean? And get ourselves cleared from the wrong notion that we have about ourselves. So this is the Mahavakyam which is taught by the Guru to a Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti Adhikari after testing the ability to understand such a Vakyam with that mind to be focused. Now, when the Guru teaches, it looks pretty good, maja, very nice. Till now I was thinking I am good for nothing, but now I understand I am Brahman. So at least for the sake of self-gratification, let me call myself Brahman and be happy about it. Okay, and that is how we learn that this is the Shruti Vakyam of Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, that is unfolded by the Sampradaya with way, by the Sampradaya with teacher. And how it is getting unfolded? That unfoldment is very clearly that it will give you first Tvampada Vachyartha to Lakshyartha, and Tvampada Vachyartha to Lakshyartha you will understand it by which Nyayam? Anyone remembers which Nyayam?
Anvaya Vyavasthireka. Anvaya Vyatireka.
Anvaya Vyatireka Nyayam. With that you will understand what it is. And from Anvaya Vyatireka, then you will learn the next, that is Tatpada Vachyartha to Tatpada Lakshyartha, which is called the Adhyaropa Apavada Nyaya. So the first one is Bhagatyaga Lakshana you will do. Separate yourself, what is that true I from all the rest of the things. Sthula Sukshma Karana Sharira Vyatiriktaha Panchakoshatitasan Avastatraya Sakshi Satchidananda Swarupasan Yastishtati Sa Atma. That is what you are actually doing by Anvaya Vyatireka Nyaya. And then when you go from there to Tatpada Lakshyartha, in Tatpada Lakshyartha you are doing Adhyaropa Apavada Nyaya. And in Adhyaropa Apavada Nyaya, in Adhyaropa and Apavada Nyaya, what you do? You first dissolve the whole world completely from a cause-effect theory. So every effect embeds the cause, so you can forget the effect and go to the cause. And as you keep doing this, you will come to that single cause, which is the Brahma. Then when the Brahman is the single cause which has been very clearly understood, then you can say very clearly if there is only one cause where there can be effect. So the Jagat doesn't actually exist. It is our superimposition of Jagat on the Brahman. And that is how you negate the Jagat completely. So what is that single cause which is there, due to which everything what we see is there, is Brahman, which is Tatpada Lakshyartha. You are getting it by Adhyaropa Apavada Nyaya. And I have already prepared and kept one small preparation. पहले ही बना के थोड़ा मसाला डाल के रखा है, मैरिनेट करके. That is what is called as Tvampada Vachyartha by Adhyaropa and Apavada. By Anvaya and Vyatireka. Now I have got Anvaya Vyatireka masala ready. I have got Adhyaropa Apavada masala ready. Now I have to put both together and then make the final, which is Asi. So you actually don't put both together. You understand that that is not different from this. Okay. So in both the Vati, both the same thing are the same only. One is one you call Atma, other you call Brahman. That's all. And both are essentially the same as what is the Shruti Vakyam, which is the Mahavakyam, which the teacher slowly unfolds. And once the teacher unfolds this, very rationally, very logically, you say, now I understand what is this Mahavakyam. Now with this knowledge, yes, I am that Brahman, I am that Atma, and I am already Mukta. And after that, by the time the teacher says, okay, time over, now for the class, we will meet in the next class. Then before that, before wearing the chappal itself, you see here and there. And then you start facing the problem. You go and call the rickshaw fellow to go back home. The rickshaw fellow doesn't stop. You tell him, Aham Brahmasmi. You stop. He will show Thenga and go. That is the time reality comes in front. You will start doubting. I thought the teacher was very sane, had the brains proper. If I continue with this teacher, not only he is a pagal, I will become double pagal now. Why? Wherever I go and tell Aham Brahmasmi, they simply look at me with a blank face. I tell everyone this Jagat is Mithya. They say, you gone mad, go to the mental hospital. That is a Mithya Jagat only, it is a Mithya mental hospital, you go and sit there. There is no Satyam in that. Correct? Are we able to get this? So from Shravanam, I was very well off before this Shravanam, saying that, oh, at least I am doing some dharma. I know there is a Bhagavan. That Bhagavan will bless me. That Bhagavan will take care of me. I do puja every day. Now after coming to this teacher, after so much of Shraddha, and the teacher tells that you are the Brahman, and I try to use that, and I see that I am into a bigger problem, where even my existing common knowledge which everyone sees, they start doubting whether this person is sane or insane. And I start doubting my teacher now, whether he is sane or insane. And if that is that insanity moving from Guru Shishya Parampara is called Sampradaya with teaching, then I really have to now relook whether I have to continue Vedanta or not. I am sure many are already gone through this, or many are going through that even now. Big difference between what reality is and big difference between what Shruti is telling, what the teacher is telling. This is what I am. So, here comes a very important aspect, that we have to now, not only the Shravanam, we have to have a clear conviction of Mananam. No, it is not just simply that this teacher said that, but I also feel it. I am convinced I feel it. Now, how will you do that? Okay. Now, with this, we are actually entering the next shloka, which is the third shloka. Vakyarthascha vicharyatam shrutishirah pakshas samasriyatam dustarkat suviramyatam shrutimatastarkonusandhiyatam brahmasmiti vibhavyatam aharahar garvah parityajyatam देह देहेहमिति रुज्यतां बुधजनैर्वादः परित्यज्यताम्. Okay, so I start now thinking about this vakya. So vakya arthascha vicharyatam. Now, as much as I go to understand the meaning of this vakya, I will normally end up making a mistake. And as everyone else have done it, I will also do that. Already the teacher has given me a warning, don't do that. But in my intelligence, I start doing it using my intelligence, and then I fall a prey to it. So, vakya arthascha vicharyatam. It is simple, correct? So, I have learned something. Now I have to understand what exactly it is, and I have to get convinced through my logic that that is correct. Right? So, what we do with our available knowledge, whatever available knowledge I have, it can be science, it can be any knowledge. Okay, whatever I have learnt, or Shastra knowledge, or any knowledge, I will start applying that to make sense of what the teacher says. Right? Please understand, where is my problem? Teacher has told few things. I understand that, but I am not convinced. Now I have to get myself convinced to it. So I have to inquire and dig deep more. Now if I have to dig deep more, what can come out to my rescue is what knowledge I have. The knowledge which I don't have cannot come for my rescue. Correct? And the knowledge which I don't have, if that cannot come, and if only the knowledge which I have that comes, what knowledge I have other than Paravidya or Aparavidya? The Aparavidya is there. Will that Aparavidya help me to get this conviction? And without valuing that, respecting that, I start looking at all the rational approaches to prove this. So I take all the various things to prove it. Then what happens? The Guru tells, our this knowledge is what is coming from the Shruti and not coming from Tarka. Vakya arthascha vicharyatam. If we have to understand the artha of the Vakya, don't go outside. You have to go into the Shruti only. How is that? To understand the Shruti knowledge, I want a clarification. And the teacher clearly says that don't go out. It is, you have to find it in the Shruti only. Why? If you find it outside, then you have applied your rational logic. Okay? And Shruti clearly says this knowledge is beyond rational logic. So, there are many situations in life when there is a problem, the solution is embedded in the problem. Don't search outside for the solution. You have to search inside only. You have to put effort, you have to try, and you will get it. Same way, like you have this number lock. You have number locks. Correct? Now, how does the number lock work? Where is the lock? Where is the key? Is it outside or is it in the lock itself? So what I have to do? I have to get that right sequence by which the lock opens and the lock closes. So can I search outside any other key and try to use it? No. Exactly like that, the Acharya tells, get back to the Shruti to make this clear for you. If you search the meaning outside, then you have a problem. Why? You will erroneously understand the meaning, and that you will get convinced. And if you get convinced in that, then you have a bigger problem now. I was better off without a wrong knowledge. I didn't have the right knowledge, I didn't have wrong knowledge of Brahman. Now I have the wrong knowledge of Brahman, which is logical and convincing. Okay? And it is not as per Shruti. So I become a potential source to teach incorrect knowledge to others, to propagate incorrect knowledge to others. Myself to theek hai gaya, waste of life. Not only that, other people who will come, like you all have come to me, sir, teach us. Like that, you will end up teaching wrongly. So now bigger problem. So very clearly the teacher says, don't go outside the Shruti. Vakyarthascha vicharyatam in the Shruti. Search in the Shruti. That Shruti will have various other places the same concept told in different ways by which you will be able to understand. Do we get this? If you go back to the Shruti will tell in various other ways the same concept, which will be easier for you to understand rather than going out and concocting a logic by yourself, which we believe could be right. If you are lucky, that would be right, but then luck doesn't work everywhere. Right? And this is not a matter of chance. Here you have to learn a correct knowledge, 100% precise knowledge. Now when it comes to understand the logical meaning, okay, I turned inward. I go back to the Shruti. That means certain parts, again, if I don't understand from the Shruti, I have to go back to the teacher. Then I have to ask the question. I have to make an inquiry. Why is this told in this particular part of the Shruti like this? Then I get some equivalent answer in some other part of the Shruti. Do you understand? Which means I have to now understand the Shruti left, right and center, that I become pakka with it. Do you see why these acharyas keep quoting? Mandukya Upanishad says this, Brihadaranyaka says this, Mundaka says this, Isha says this. Why? Katha, Kena, so many. Brahma Sutra tells this. Why? Because then you are not going outside Shruti. That is called Shruti Matihi. Shruti Mati. Are we able to get this? So very clearly Acharya says that after Shravanam, when you have to do Mananam, before that even understanding the meaning, go back to the Shruti, and Shruti will help you to find the meaning, like the solution of the number lock is within the lock itself. Don't search it outside. Clear? Now, what is this Mananam? One part of Mananam is understanding the meaning. So now, Mananam comprises of two parts. The first part is what we saw. What is the first part? The correct meaning of what the Mahavakyam is. The exact meaning of what this Mahavakyam is. The exact meaning of what Vedanta is. The exact meaning of what Atma Vidya is. The exact meaning of what Shruti wants to tell us, which is being very clearly understood from the Shruti itself, using the Acharya who will operate the Shruti and clarify through Shruti to you. Are we able to get this? Yes, no, or is it too difficult?
Then the second part.
Second part of what?
Understanding through the Acharya.
That is Mananam, first part only. First part is understanding. Understanding can be done by yourself. If you have learned some of the other Shrutis, the meaning of it already, you can use that. Otherwise, you will go back to the Acharya. If you don't know the meaning of that particular Shruti, he will explain it. Somehow you have to get this meaning properly, clearly understand what that Shravanam has given you. Correct? Are we getting it, or is it too Greek and Latin? Because after this only Greek and Latin will start. This is very easy. Okay. Now there is a second part to it, for which I have already given you a flavor of how you have to learn the meaning of the Shravanam. Whatever you have heard, how to really understand the meaning is go into Shruti. The second part of Mananam, apart from getting the right knowledge, is you have to know what is wrong knowledge, so that you can dismiss that clearly. Mananam not only involves understanding the correct knowledge, what Shruti gives on the subject matter, but also clearly understanding what are the wrong knowledges, not what that Shruti has given. Shruti doesn't give wrong knowledge. Then where did you get this wrong knowledge from? See, Shruti gave right knowledge.
From outside.
What outside means what?
It's from all other sources. Like,
What is that other source?
whatever we are thinking.
Our logics.
Our
Apara.
misunderstanding.
From your Aparavidya.
Apart
Because
from
you
that,
try to apply logic to the Shruti.
From rational knowledge.
okay. From where do you get these rational knowledges?
From schools, from teachers, from life experiences.
We are not
Going to a wrong guru and processing that knowledge, whatever we get.
First of all, remove this concept that the knowledge has come wrongly from outside. No. It is my wrong knowledge. Correct? Either I have applied my rational mind to concoct a knowledge, or I have learnt other school of thoughts by which wrong knowledge has entered me. So, there are various philosophies in our Sanatana Dharma. There are 6 Astika philosophies and 6 Nastika philosophies. Okay, the Astika philosophies are those which agree that Shruti is the source, the only source, and the Nastika philosophy does not value the Shruti also. The Astika philosophies are Charvaka, Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Purva Mimamsa, Uttara Mimamsa. And the 6 Nastika philosophies are 4 in Buddhism, 1 in Jainism, and 1 Charvaka. Okay. So, out of these 12 philosophies, Vedanta is the only philosophy. Vedanta, that too, let me be very clear, Advaita Vedanta very specifically is the only philosophy which fits to this type of learning. The rest of the philosophies have come out with logic. That means they have taken certain portion of the Shruti and concocted a logic of their own. So it is Tarka Pradhana, it is Enquiry Pradhana, it is not Mimamsa Pradhana, it is very clearly the rational approach, giving it a rational thought, that is Pradhana. Shruti becomes subservient. Shruti becomes secondary here. But when it comes to this particular, because see, Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam is there in Vedanta, Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam is not there in Sankhya or Yoga or anywhere. Correct? So if we are going to learn Shravana Manana Nididhyasana, that means you are a Vedantic student. That means you have to go only by the Vedantic Sampradaya with teacher teaching you how to learn and understand the meaning. That means any knowledge which has come to you through some other source like Sankhya, Yoga, Purva Mimamsa, Uttara, Vaisheshika, Nyaya, all this, or maybe Jainism, Buddhism, our logic, science, you take anything, all this becomes subservient. Are we getting this? This is a very, very important, because for every statement which is made by the Shruti, based on our logical approach, we have hundreds of questions. Then why it is like this? Then why it is not like this? Why it should be like this? Why it should not be like this? Please understand that whenever Acharyas have sat together and understood the meaning of the Shruti together, they have used a particular way which is called the Mimamsa way to understand it. And then they have come out with a proper, clear understanding which is Shruti Matihi. It is within the Shruti's acceptance. Okay. To understand the Shruti, you can have Tarka. Tarka means not debater. Tarka means rational, logical presentation. That is Tarka. You develop it, right, with a rational, logical, okay, A equal to B, B equal to C, C equal to D. Then you say if A equal to B equal to C, A can be equal to C. Now C equal to D, that means A can be equal to C equal to D, that means A equal to D. This is what is a logical approach you have taken, right? But that has to be Shrutimati. Are you able to get this? All the other philosophies are not Shruti Mati. They take a portion of the Shruti and then they use their own rational logic to establish what this moksha, Atma is, and hence there are loopholes. So what we do? In Advaita, we have to learn all the other school of thoughts which can be negated by us. So Shravanam is much easier. Mananam requires learning of all the other philosophies, darshanas, and clearly negating them with the Advaita glass. Are we able to get that? If you say, no, why should I do that? I have already accepted what the Acharya said and that is Shruti Mati only, I have no doubt at all about it. Then we will call it blind faith. If you accept it, it is blind faith. If you challenge it, then it is not Shruti Mati. Do you understand now? So all the people in sannyasa are doing only this day in and day out, learning the other school of thoughts and finding out what is that loophole in that what they have applied and re-establishing the Shruti, and if that requires, give a justification with our own rational clarification to it if it's needed. But Shruti is above and my logic is subservient. Whereas for others, logic is above, Shruti becomes secondary. Are we very, very clear about this difference between the Advaita system and the other systems? And this is where we can go very easily, we'll slip. Please understand, very, very rationally we will go. And then slowly at one point we do not know where we have slipped out of the Shruti. This often happens in discussions, you will understand. When someone tells a counterpoint, oh, correct, I didn't think about it. Means what? You slipped from the Shruti. Went on with your rational approach. Clear? So this way of always looking, that means what I do, I apply a rational filter, see where there is a Shruti Mati to it. Oh, clear, tick, go ahead. Then again apply the next rational filter, see whether there is Shruti Mati to it. If there is no Shruti to the rational filter, what should I do? Keep searching the Shruti or throw the rational? Throw the rational. If I keep holding to the rational, it only says my ahankara is there still. Think about it. Very rationally we are going now. Okay. The rationality is used, and at the end the rationality is broken by Shruti. We use rationality to come to the peak of rationality. We use the mind to come to the peak of the mind and the intellect, and then Shruti says drop the intellect and the mind. Drop this ahankara. Are we able to get this? That is why many people have a lot of problem with this Advaita Vedanta. They will say you are all fanatics, you are all blind believer. You simply go by what that book says, even if it does not have any logic or a rational. Is it clearly that the book doesn't have a logic and rational, or my intellect is unable to understand the rational and logic of what the book has given, what Shruti has given? Correct? If I have understood that, I will very easily be established in that and go ahead. So far as I have not understood that, for any other person who has not understood it will say, "Arey yaar, wo to yaar, some old people, they did not have time. They simply sat, they created few thousands of such mantras which had no meaning anyways. उनको काम धंधा तो नहीं था, TV नहीं था, WhatsApp नहीं था. They had no other jobs. And you also like a stupid behind them. You come on, in which age you are there? You are in which century now? Already the next 2021 has started. You are still back into that? क्या मतलब है यार? Come on. Look at all this. The whole world is there because of the share market, and you are saying that is Jagan Mithya. हाँ? कौन सा दुनिया में है तू यार? You are wasting your life. Stupid fellow. Now when such a thing comes, and it is a very natural process, please understand, this is a very natural process. We have to go through the process and then only mature out. Whenever I have, especially for Vedanta, I have three problems. I have very clearly three problems. And it is so difficult for me to digest. First, the Acharya tells, he introduces three things to me, which we have already seen, nothing new. The Acharya introduces to me, first is me, the Jiva. Okay. And he says, as per Vedanta, you are infinite. No problem. I can still accept, imagine I am infinite. No problem. At least I can imagine that. ठीक है. Benefit of doubt. Poor fellow, the teacher, already old, cannot see clearly. Because his vision is so blurred, he sees me all around, so he feels I am infinite. Okay, I will feel that chalo theek hai, what he is saying could be right. To keep him happy, I am infinite. Immediately after that, that old person says, what you know? Your Ananda Swarupa. Over. That is the clean bold. You will say over. ये आदमी पूरा पागल है. He says your नित्य मुक्त, नित्य शुद्ध, सर्वज्ञ, सर्वांतर्यामी, सकल कल्याण गुण गणैक निलयः. Oh, I know I am Alpa Shaktiman. I am Alpicient. Okay. I am an Alpicient. He says you are an omniscient. I feel I am an Alpicient. Yes or no? I have so much of bindings, I have limitations, and he says you are Ananda. I have the basic first problem comes and stands like a big thing in front of me. I'll say, okay, let us go ahead. Dekhega kya hai. Then he opens out the second ball डालता है, वो भी clean bowled होता है. Second ball में he says, you know what is this Jagat? Jagat mithyatvam. You will say, ये तो fully गया है. I am in front of you, you are in front of me, this table is there, this chair is there, everything is mithyatvam. What are you trying to say? In which world are you? Okay, the whole Jagat is as though not there. I cannot digest this. First you call me Ananda Swarupa. That itself, that time I had a big doubt. Is this old man still in senses? Then in the next class you told very clearly that you are that Ananda Swarupa and the whole world is a Mithya Drishti. That time I am very sure पूरा सटिया गया है. And then the third day, to add on to it, I still said, let me give one more chance to this teacher. I go back to him. He says, oh my dear, you know this Ishvara is no one other than you. Now I was 100% sure, never again I will come to this person. Because he is simply bullshitting from day one. Whatever I know, he says, Shruti tells it is not that. You have misunderstood yourself. I am very sure that I have understood that my teacher has misunderstood the whole Shruti. Yes or no? My teacher has misunderstood the whole Shruti. Absolutely wasted all the life. Correct? That is what, because Ishvara is no different from me. Swami Dayananda Saraswati says that he is omniscient and I do not know the spelling of omniscient. I do not know whether there is a C in between, it is TIENT, SIENT, I have no idea on that itself. 2-3 times after writing something, the Google, after that I go to the Google correction to correct it. That spelling of omniscient itself I do not know, and you are telling that you are omniscient. This, whenever the Vedanta teacher has told this, that is the time all the others are telling that, no, you are the Sevak, he is the Swami. Do puja of his, he will take you to Swarga. He will ensure that you will always be doing puja at Swarga. Today, if you have too many things in between to complete and it doesn't give you continuous seva, in Swarga that problem will not be there. You will not feel hungry, you will not feel sleepy, you don't have to cook food, you don't have to eat food, nothing. Only puja hi puja. I am permanent Swami, Dasa, he is permanent Swami. Correct? Yes, this I understand. The world is Mahareal. Jagat Satyatvam. Perfectly right. So I am what I am. Like me, there are many. I am a Jiva. Yes, I understand that. Yes, I am not just this body. I am a Jiva. I take births. Yes, correct. Okay. That much I can logically agree. Then there is a Param Atma, there is a Jiva Atma, and there is me, this body. Okay. This world is Satyam. Perfectly okay. And I am absolutely happy with this. Why is this old teacher trying to turn the whole thing and say that Shruti has told this? Either he has not understood it, he needs mananam, not me. Do you see a very, very logical need for a problem which is sitting after Shravanam? And it's a big problem. Think about it. So far as you are ignorant about this knowledge, you have no doubt also. Now that you have some knowledge about it, you have not only doubt about your knowledge, you have not only doubt about the Shruti, you have not only doubt about your teacher, you have also having the doubt about ability of your teacher to interpret the Shruti, because this is how, if he has learnt it, all across down the line I fooled him and he is trying to fool me. In Vedanta we boldly can say this, absolutely no problem. Every teacher will teach the student like this only. Don't consider, because this is a very natural process. You are doing something totally different than what the whole world is now trying to tell you. Why? Because we have Shruti Mati here. The only thing in your side is Shruti Mati. Now if you have to fight all this and say that no, I have not understood my teacher, I have not understood the Shruti, so what if all the other philosophies are telling this? Let me look at them and let me look at what the Shruti says. Do they have Shruti Sammati? And once you put quality time and make a proper inquiry and dismiss them using Shruti and logic, that is the time Mananam is coming. Not when anything is taught, Aham Brahmasmi. Like Swamiji very beautifully says, we have two uses of, not two uses, we use Vedanta differently. Or I will not say we use Vedanta differently. The example is what? घर का अंदर एक चप्पल रहता है, घर का बाहर एक दूसरा चप्पल रहता है कि नहीं? Yes or no? Do you wear the same चप्पल inside the house to outside? जो बाहर रहते हैं वही अंदर पहन के आता है क्या? तो घर से बाहर जाने का पहला चप्पल चेंज करके वो डाल के जाते हैं. Correct? Yes. Exactly like that, when you come to the Vedanta class, when you want to take notes, that is the time you have worn a Vedanta chappal. And the moment the class is over and Vyavahara starts, you have changed the chappal. Do we understand this? And why do we do that? Because Shravanam is there, Mananam is not there. That conviction of practically utilizing this knowledge in Vyavahara is possible, and I will do it and I can do it, is not there. Then there will be hundreds of reasons that all that is okay during that time. Let them come to today, in this world now, 2021, even 2020, if you would have told me, I would say it is possible. But in 2021, impossible, impossible. 7,000 years back, something they have written. Do you feel that you can live up to that today? The world has changed. Come on, wake up. How is it possible? Are we getting this? This is where Acharya hits part karke. See the words very clearly. Shruti matis tarkonusandhiyatam, he will tell next. Vakyarthascha vicharyatam. What is the next word? Vakya arthascha vicharyatam.
Shrutishira.
Shrutishiraha.
Akshastamashriyatam.
Shruti Shirah Pakshaha. Be with the Shruti Paksha, and within the Shruti only get the answer for your questions. Then what happens? The next word. What is the next word?
Ustarkat suviramyatam.
Dustarkat suviramyatam. That means don't engage in other philosophies which have got tarka pradhana and not shruti pradhana. Other philosophies which have got tarka pradhanyam, if you engage in that, you will get lost. Correct? Dustarkat su viramyatam. Virama means what?
Stop.
Full stop.
Full stop.
Put a proper full stop here. You should know where to go and where not to go. That much viveka should be there. And you know what Acharyas tell here? This will come only and only if you have one very important aspect. A very important attitude and a value should be there. Then only this can come. What is that? Shraddha. Guru Vedanta Vakyadishu Vishwasa Shraddha. Now see how it is getting connected. If that Shraddha is getting questioned, that is the time you will jump very easily to the rational world. Oh, this rational logic helps me, so let me try that. Let me try to superimpose on what the teacher taught. And by doing that, you have created your concoction and Shruti is gone off. Correct? So, dustarkat suviramyatam, that means go only to those tarka which are Shruti Sammati. Those tarka which doesn't have Shruti Sammati, don't value them. That means all the other Astika philosophies and Nastika. Now, another question is, before going all this, we said do not accept what others are saying. What is the problem? Let us accept all now. Why are we to be so? We are Vedantis. Everything is one, correct? Sarva samabhavaha. Aham brahmasmi. Tat eva tvamasi. So why should I negate you? You are also okay, you are also okay, you are also okay, you are also very good. All okay. Why should I say no to anything? Yes or no? So what if Sankhya says that? Okay, Sankhya is also correct. So why if Yoga says that? Yoga is also correct. Can't I do that? See how we are looking at, it was a simple word of learning and conviction. Till now we have told learning and conviction only. Shravanam and Mananam. उसका अंदर कैसा घुस रहा है देखो. Why there should be a Mananam? What is Mananam? First we said Mananam is getting the right knowledge and also knowing the wrong knowledge that it is not the right knowledge. Knowing the right knowledge that it is the right knowledge and knowing the wrong knowledge that it is not the right knowledge is Mananam. That means I should know both. How do I get the right knowledge? For the right knowledge, he says, Vakyarthasya vicharyatam. Go back into the Shruti to get your answers, to get that right knowledge again. Number lock. Okay, fine. Then what should I do with the wrong knowledge? Dustarkat suviramyatam. Don't indulge in that. Why? That is tarka pradhana, not Shruti pradhana. Wherever there is Shruti pradhana, take it. No problem. If Sankhya says that Chaturvimshati tattvotpatti prakaram vakshyamaha brahmashraya sattva rajastamo gunatmika maya asti. You thought what Shankara has told this? No way. He has borrowed it from Sankhya. Why did he take that? You tell one thing and you do the other thing, correct? Hypocrite Shankaracharya. Absolutely hypocrite. Why did he do that? Tell me. क्या हुआ भाई सन्नाटा क्यों है? Either you didn't understand the question. Did you understand the question? Say yes, no. Don't
Yes.
sit blank. Did you all understand the question? If you
Yes.
didn't understand, say, I did not understand the question. Answer baad mein ka hai. Okay. The question again, let me repeat. Shankara mentioned very clearly that in this Dustarkat Suviramyatam. Do not indulge in tarkas, other philosophies, because it doesn't have Shruti Mati. Take only those which have Shruti Mati. Clear? And then in Tattva Bodha, let us consider Adi Shankara only has done it. He says Brahma Shreyaha Sattvarajastamo Gunatmika Mayasti Atha Chaturvimshati Tattvotpatti Prakaram Vakshyamaha Brahma Shreya Sattvarajastamo Gunatmika Maya Asti. Correct? And then Akashaha, Vayu, all those, he comes with all that. From where did he get this? Did not he borrow it from Sankhya's philosophy? From where Chaturvimshati Tattva comes? Chaturvimshati means 24 tattvas.
24 elements.
From where did that come?
Sankhya.
Clear? Shamelessly borrowed from Sankhya.
No.
Correct? And he tells, do not even look at those. This is Mananam. You have to come and ask these questions. This is Mananam, right? Am Brahmasmi में सिर्फ मननम नहीं, any knowledge में मननम है. So isn't this a very valid, pertinent question? So is Shankara right in doing that and telling us don't follow that? Isn't it hypocrisy? Is the question clear?
Oh.
Now give the answer.
Sir, it must have been supported somewhere in other Shrutis. That's why he took it, by accepting what is correct and leaving what doesn't support the Shruti Vakya. So you can say that by Bhagatyaga Lakshana or whatever it is, whatever is there in other philosophies which say matches with the Shruti stated somewhere else, so that can be taken.
Okay, so where is it? Now it is
No.
your Mananama.
No,
It is
I
not
don't know,
Shankara's
sir.
Mananam.
No, it is.
So
It
now
is
where
my
does it
Mananam.
match? If you say that the qualifier is whether Shruti has told this or not, then you need to tell where the Shruti has given. Because in Shravanam before that, what have you done? Vakyartascha vicharyatam. You have gone into the Shruti to find this out. After that only you are coming to Mananam. So where does it tell in Shruti now?
I don't know.
Now you understand where you will get stuck in this learning? Correct? Now do you understand why पहला ही रट्टा मारो बोल लिया था? समझ में आता है now? Even your book will not help because you don't know where to search. Out of the 10 books, where to search, I don't know. What to search, I don't know. Even if I know where to search and what to search, where among these 10 books I have to search, that I don't know. Getting it? This problem you will start facing it. That is why it should now be here and not on the book. Oh, how much to buy heart? What is the other job? What is the other job? Why can't you buy heart? तस्माद्वा एतस्मादात्मन आकाशः सम्भूतः आकाशाद्वायुः वायोरग्निः अग्नेरापः. Shruti has given it very clearly. Not only here, many places Shruti has given this. So he has no problem. He says very nice. Whatever Shruti has told, Sankhya, very beautifully you have made a nice PowerPoint presentation. Let me borrow this PPT from you rather than sitting and making the same contents and putting as per Advaita philosophy. No, I don't want to do that. I will give full credit to you, Mr. Sankhya. So, you have made it. I will take that and tell everyone. Why? I have absolutely no problem with you on Anatma. We never differ. In fact, I borrowed most of the principles of Anatma from you only. Then when it comes to making my mind calm and focusing, I have no problem to borrow everything from Mr. Patanjali here. I will take everything from there, no problem. I will drop only those things which Patanjali says that is Brahman. No, I will drop that. Then what do? To get that Ekagra Chitta, I will do Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirodha as per Patanjali. No problem. Are we getting it? This doesn't mean throw off everything. Only what comes in Advaita Vedanta, I will see. The others, I will not even think about it. I cannot hear also. No. That fanaticism, we don't have it. Whatever is said, does it have a Shruti? Shruti Sammati is there. I am ready to accept it. Because we are very clear. It is not what I say or you say. If Shruti says, it is said. Matter ends. I may understand it, I may not understand it. But if it has been told by Shruti, I pretty well accept it. And I take that and go. Are we clear? So, there is nothing wrong in doing. That is why when we say Mananam, you should know which are negated by the Shruti, which are already supported by the Shruti. And that is why he gives the next word, Shrutimatis Tarkonusandhiyatam. Should I drop Tarka? No. Keep Shruti at the top, and with Shruti Mati, if you feel any rational fits that Shruti, bindas lelo. And that is what he has borrowed, what Sankhya has told, Yoga has told, because which has Shruti Sammati, he has taken their Tarka and said perfectly okay, I am okay with it. Are you able to get this clearly now? What is Mananam? Understanding what is right and understanding what is wrong. The right coming from the Shruti only, the wrong which are coming out of logics and other schools of thoughts, that you call it wrong. The qualifier of wrong is which doesn't have Shruti Sammati. But the rationals which have got Shruti Sammati, you don't call them wrong. You fit it properly into your knowledge. That is called Shrutimatis Tarko Anusandhiyatam. कितना beautifully लिया है देखो. Are we able to get this? So and understand that all Advaita Vedanta teachers essentially need to be masters in logic, master logicians, let me tell you. In Nyaya Vaisheshika, they have to be expert, otherwise it is impossible that you have understood Advaita Vedanta. Indirectly, that's a qualifier. Huh? That is why Adi Shankara was one of the expert Tarkika in Tarka. What he does, and this is how a Vedanti will do it. What you do, whenever someone comes with a rational approach, which also includes today's science, nothing wrong in it. That's another Tarka only, right? So you take that, understand the basis, find the loophole in the Tarka. And the moment you touch the loophole, the whole Tarka will fall like a pack of cards. So you have to be an expert. It's like the lawyer. The lawyer does not know the case. The lawyer does not know the reality of the case. But the lawyer knows to play with what is presented in the court by both the sides and then turn it to your own advantage. The reality can be anything. Same way, the reality is what is given by Shruti. Our Tarkikas are lawyers who will put the other side down by cutting their own feet. Correct? You do not say we are correct. Advaitin will never tell I am correct. He will say you are correct. Then if you say, okay, you are told I am correct, then over na. He says, no. If you are correct, I have one problem. Can you explain this as per your theory? Then that person will explain. Because now you know where the loophole is. You are a master logician, huh? You have understood clearly where the loophole is. So you will direct that person, you will bring him slowly to the graveyard which is dug and kept much earlier. Correct? And in the last one, you will just open the gate and say, now go down and fall. Your logic, with your own logic will go down. Correct? Now if your logic and you have gone down the graveyard, who is remaining? Who is remaining above the ground now? I am remaining. With what? Shruti. So like a good child, accept that and go ahead. Do we get it? But to convert the Shruti to such logic, and in every logic of ours, we should not distort the Shruti. That requires a lot of understanding and that nuances. Are we able to get that? And the more we are able to clearly focus on that Atma Vidya which the Shruti tells, and baki sabko tak udane ko aaya, then your mananam is anyway happened. Do we understand? So whenever someone comes and asks questions, especially precarious questions to us, never run away. They will ask, what did your this Vedanta class teach? You are more angry than yesterday. Don't run away from it. If that is true, put an effort. Sometimes they will say, all that your Brahman and all is there in the class, come now. आ जाओ अपना थाली लेके साफ करो, कुछ ब्रह्मन आने वाला नहीं है. घर पे भाई नहीं आए तो तुमको ही झाड़ू पोछा मारने का है. ब्रह्मन कुछ आने वाला नहीं है. That time don't say ब्रह्म सत्यम जगन मिथ्या जीवो ब्रह्मैव नापरः, खाना नहीं मिलेगा. Correct? So we have to know where to use what. And when someone very seriously gives a rational logic and puts you to a corner, never run away from that, catch that, because that is my weak point. I have not understood that, and that is an area which I am slipping. How do I? Because that point में तुमको डुबाया है. How do I come back and swim again? What is my logic to come back and swim again? Because the more, it is not justifying to someone else. It is removing the clutter from my mind which is covering that logic. How can it get re-established with Shruti Sammati? Are we able to get this? So Mananam requires really a very good in-depth. That means Mananam not only goes deep, Mananam goes broad. Shravanam is very superficial, Mananam is very broad. Until that time the Mananam will just be on and on till there are no questions at all. Now whatever question you ask, I can easily fit it to my Advaita and give a Shruti support to it. Over, no problem. Koi bhi aane do, doesn't matter then. Either that person will agree on Shruti, or if the person says something which is not in Shruti Mati, you should learn how to turn him back to Shruti. You should not push. Like our old grandparents used to be there, now when you ask a question, ye kyo karne ka, namaskar kyo nahi, just shut up and do it. That will not be accepted. उसको गोल घुमा के, it may take time. बाद में एक दिन बरोबर बॉटल में उतारने का. It will take time. That shows how nipuna you are. Are you really clear with the topic? It is reflecting our knowledge and our conviction in that knowledge. Yes or no? Is it clear? Is it clear? Now Priya will not have more questions because so many questions will keep coming. Yeah, that is Mananam. If questions don't come, Mananam will not come. And these questions will have to, an answer has to come. And where the answer will be there? Go back to Shruti. Don't use logic. Where Shruti has told, that is where the answer is. Very clearly. Okay? Hopefully, Acharya beautifully in the first sentence completely deals with Mananam of the third shloka. Vakyarthascha vicharyatam. Dive back to the Shruti, search the Shruti for the meaning. Then Vakyarthasya vicharyatam. Shruti, what is it?
Shira. Shruti Shira.
Shruti Shirah Pakshas Samashriyatam. Correct? Vakyarthash Shruti Shirah Pakshas Samashriyatam. Shruti Shiraha Vedanta, be in that Paksha and completely assimilate how it is told, how it has to be opened out. That Bhaga, Tyaga, all the Nyayas will come out. Understand it very clearly, assimilate it, and then you will get your answer clearly. And while doing this, you will be exposed to Dustarka, which doesn't have Shruti Sammati. Suviramyatam. Discard it. Check for qualifiers first. Don't be a kachra dabba to accept anyone and everything. Today you have, that is why when people say that, you know, this person has written so beautifully on this person has written so beautifully on this. If you are a true student, I will say, save it and keep it. Don't even go through it. Don't even go through it. Why? The moment you go through something, finally understand its thought. What you are learning is a thought. Somewhere that thought remains. That means another kachra has come in which you do not even want it. So if you are a serious student, keep all the other things which come in the way, which talks of, including Vedanta. Ramakrishna's Vedanta, Aurobindo's Vedanta, everyone, Shankaracharya's Vedanta, Vivekananda's Vedanta, keep everything away. I'm telling you, keep everything away. Why? You need to come to a level of maturity to see that and understand. So initially go with one teacher, same teacher, because you are still with Shravanam, consistently over a period of time. And that is why our Acharya says that at least 3 to 4 years, learn from one teacher sequentially the text which gets opened out, unfolded out. That teacher, if he is a proper teacher, will not start with Brahma Sutram. No, never. They will start with Tattva Bodha only. Correct? Because that is Sampradaya with teaching. With that teacher, be for 3-4 years, learn, so that you have only one wavelength which is going in. Because in that process, that teacher will open out other philosophies and also give you a flavor of that philosophy and tell you where is a flaw in that philosophy. So you are not caught unguarded when you listen to someone else without any idea. Now I am very sure that many of you all would be listening to many people. For example, you take Dushyant Sridhar. Someone will be listening to Venkatraman. Someone will be listening to your Sadguru. Someone will be anyone. Sri Ravi Shankar. Everyone could be talking the same thing, but the methodology can be different. The flavor can be different. Someone will be telling more stories. Someone will be telling more of very clearly points where you have to straight go into it, very specific, dry. Someone will be blending all this together. Now in blending you have a problem. You will miss out on the main topic. You will remember only the story. The main topic is lost. The moral is gone off. So in this learnings we have to be very, very clear. Be with one teacher. Whoever that teacher is doesn't matter. Tomorrow if you feel that no, I am able to understand from that teacher, drop coming to my class. First drop it. There is a very, very clear understanding we should have. Serious students should have only one teacher for this subject. If I generally want to hear इसने भी क्या बोला उसने भी क्या बोला, that means I am going to have an opinion poll. Then like 9 o'clock news channel, that you can listen to as many as you want. And then you can also write a commentary on it and I will sign it and say very good, very nice, publish it. Which is useless in any case. Are we able to get this? It's a very, very, very clear. If you want to do it, be with that teacher, that wavelength, the way it gets opened out, it gets over. Or, for example, you know me, if I am teaching, I am learning it from whom? So you should know the Guru Parampara. If you do not know the Guru Parampara, then it is wrong for you to even learn from me. So if you know my Guru Parampara, no problem to learn from those Gurus. Swami Paramarthanandaji's cassette is there. Swami Omkarananda's cassette. Swami Dayananda Saraswati's. I am able to. Go ahead. Are you able to get that? Because then it will not deviate. And it should not deviate. If it deviates, then you have to challenge me. Because it can be a wrong learning from my end also. Are you able to get that? So there is nothing wrong in it. This is how we align and go. And once you mature, there is enough kavach. Then you expose yourself to anyone. Then you can very peacefully sit and say, okay, that person is going through that road and then will reach out to this place. I am going through this road, I will also reach to this place. Now I understand, no problem. If you do not know this, today you will sit and say, no, only my road is the road, the other roads are all wrong roads. How can someone say like this? Then what happens? Your mind is disturbed. एक तो कचरा अंदर घुस गया है, what the other person has told. Even it may be right, but in today's state of mind, it's a kachra for you. Because your mind will be dwelling on that. Then you will come with that as a question to someone else, where you are learning. Okay. Then we understand very clearly you got exposed somewhere to unprotectedly you got exposed. That means without a mask you have gone to a place where corona is available. And that has infected you. समझ में आ रहा है? Correct? Nipa and Uday are very, very intensely discussing about this topic. Correct? And like this, with a nice protection, there are many such topics where you get beautifully exposed from the same teacher to the other darshanas. Okay? So as you keep going ahead, Nyaya, all these things will have to be taught actually. If you want to understand, before even entering something called Brahma Sutra, you should have Tarka Shastra should be known. You should know Tarka. Basic Tarkas have to be learnt. So all this subsidiary things will be taught and make you prepared to go for the Tarka in Brahma Sutras. And the whole Brahma Sutra, the chapter 2, Avirodhadikaranam, completely that second chapter is for negating all the philosophies. Acharya has negated all the philosophies, Astikas, Nastikas, Yogas, Buddha, Jaina, in so many adhikaranams very clearly. So that is a Manana Pradhana second chapter of Brahma Sutra. So it is not that you will not be exposed, you will be exposed, well protected and shown that this is how they have told, this is what is our counter argument, look at it from this perspective. Then once you understand, now I am clear. That means now you are already protected. Now you go and expose yourself anywhere. I have worn the Corona ka kavach. I have no problem now. My PPEs are in place. Correct? But without PPE, if you go out, then there are chances that you will get infected. If you get infected, what will happen? No problem for the teacher. One is the teacher will have to spend a little more time to remove that infection out. Okay, because that infection will keep coming and hitting you. You will keep asking. So again, the teacher will have to spend more time. Apart from that, you will lose your mental sanity. You'll say, how can we, for the same Shruti, one person write like this, another person write, what is this here? I'm getting fully mad now, pura pagal ho gaya. Correct?
Can I ask one thing?
Yeah, you can ask.
Can I ask one thing?
Yeah, please.
Shruti is basically from Veda and Upanishad. That is what I understand. Is it correct?
Yeah, Shruti is the Vedas.
Veda. Okay. How come all other philosophies have been Dvaita, Advaita, Dvaita, Advaita, and all other philosophies have been come out when Shruti tells something as a correct thing, and other things are not correct.
Okay. If the Shruti would have told like how we are communicating with each other very clearly, correct? Please understand that for us to communicate like this, I am talking to you in English. You are responding in English. Already it goes with a lot of understanding that you know certain level of English, you know grammar. I know English, I know grammar. I know certain words what it can mean to you. I know certain words what it can wrongly mean to you. Correct? And this is where this communication is happening from one to another. Imagine in this class we have 4 Americans sitting. Do they understand English? Correct?
Yeah.
Do they understand English or do they understand Indian English?
They may be understand because the accents are very clear.
No, but Indian English. You know, Indian English is special English. Indian English is special English. Words like update and all come in only in Indian English. Updated is not there in dictionary also. In English we use it, in Indian English. Okay. There are many words. It's like our way of upbringing, ability not to tell no, all these are embedded in the communication. So instead of saying that no, you can't ask the question, if I tell, it would be good if you ask the question at the end. Suppose I tell this. Now you being an Indian, you actually have understood what I am saying. And the American would say, can I ask a question? You repeat the same thing. They'll say, how the hell I know which is the end of your session? Are we able to get this now? Now, I saying the same thing, 2 people have interpreted it in 2 different ways. Huh? I said the same thing. Suppose I say, no, I will tell you when to ask the question after my session is over. Am I very clear and explicit on what I said? Instead of that, if I say, it would be better if you ask the question at the end of the session. It would be better. That's not a direct approach. And that is an Indian approach. Huh? Have you seen it many a times? Now, if you feel so, if I'm allowed to ask something, no, you're not allowed. Are? No, that was only for saying. I didn't expect this response from you. Yeah, but if you are allowed to say, I have an option to say, no, you're not allowed, right? The American understands the word as it is. We have a nice flavor and all, uske saath mirch, masala, sab laga ke we have our own English. Correct? As if for any Laukika communication, if we have this, we are referring to the Shruti, which is the Vedas, which grammar did not come first before the Vedas came. Understand the problem now. If the grammar would have come, the language would have come, and from there the Veda would have come, Veda would be very easy. From the Vedas, the language, the grammar, everything has got deciphered. Correct? So there will be, and the subject matter which we are talking is something which is not communicatable. Now this is going to be tougher now. Now I am going to talk in that English, which this English itself will be tough now. The subject matter what we are referring is non-communicatable subject matter. Why? Vachasya vachaha it is called. It is called eye of the eyes, speech of the speech, manaso manaha. And then what I will tell? The Upanishad tells, what it is I do not know. I know clearly that I do not know that. And knowing that I do not know it is what it is. So the language used by the Vedas, the formation of words used by the Vedas are very peculiar, and they need something called as an unlocking mechanism to make someone understand. And that Shastra is called Mimamsa Shastra. That Shastra itself is called Mimamsa Shastra, where people who are very knowledgeable sit together with that mantra, and then they say why such a meaning should come and why no other meaning should come, looking at context. That is the beauty of it. Looking at the context, looking at the grammar, looking at the formation, looking at the Mimamsa. With all this they come out with a meaning. It is quite possible for someone who really have not learnt all these things in this way. And a school of thought can be coming out. Simply take, this is purely something like what you see in cosmology, in terms of all those things which are not that absolute sciences which we know, which we interact. Quantum physics, aren't those theories keeping on changing with time? One scientist says something, after a particular time another scientist comes and says no, it has to get disproved because of this, correct? Which is an evolution over a period of time, right? Same way our Shruti has got the, and the meaning of it, what it wants to say, has got evolved over a period of time. And added to it, because it is something which is an unknown, everyone tries to have their own logic to it. That is where I said that the logic becomes pradhana. And that is where there is an issue that within Vedanta itself you have Dvaita, Advaita, Vishishta Advaita. Then I asked that what is the problem? Why can't we accept all? Why we have to say only one? That means if you are an Advaita student, you have to very clearly negate. I am telling you, negate Dvaita. You have to negate Dvaita. Otherwise the Advaita knowledge will not be a conviction to you. You will jump between the Dvaita boat and the Advaita boat as you feel convenient. Which means I made an undiyo. एक undiyo बना के रख दिया है, which you can then write your name and say this is my undiyo. Like that many people have made many undiyos, which is available today. Earlier it was not available because only one text used to be available. Now multiple people, and one of the classic undiyo is all these guys like Devadatta Patnaik. Another undiyo is your Amish Tripathi. If you try to read something, you will have a lot of stuff which do not have base. That means it is their fiction. And imagine after 200 years, the available written fiction is only Amish Tripathi. That means Shiva triology will become Shiva Samhita. Do we understand? We are sitting after 7,000 years and talking about that Shruti. How many such masalas would have come and gone?
Right.
Yeah? And it is very, very possible. It is very possible. Hence, we have to, that is why that Sampradaya with only way is to protect. That is the only way which is a kavach and a protection, right? Otherwise, you will be exposed to everything and all look rationally correct. Huh? There is nothing to say this is rationally wrong. But the point is, Shruti is not something which is for rational. Shruti is Shruti. You can rationally use some rational logic to prove certain things of Shruti if you feel okay. It's like science and Shruti when you keep. You can use science. Suppose if I want to compare the Big Bang theory and what Shruti says. Science has told something in Big Bang. The Shruti has told something. Can I do it? Very much you can do it. But if there are certain points which do not match between science and Shruti, if you say that Shruti is wrong, then you are incorrect. If you say science is wrong, then also you are incorrect. Please understand this. Shruti has said what Shruti has said, science has said what science has said. मेरा मन में कीड़ा था दोनों को साथ में जोड़ के शेंडी जोड़ के देखने का, और मेरा कीड़ा का वजह से I cannot blend both and say this is the new thing what Shruti and science are telling. Does it make sense? रेल का दो पटरी है, बीच में sleepers connect them, but between the sleepers there are also places which do not connect them. And seeing all this with such a viewpoint is called maturity. And you will get this maturity only when you are exposed to many things, and in that many things you are like a rack picker. You know, I can take this, I have to throw this. I can take this, I have to throw this. That ability to take and the ability to throw, which comes over a period of time after being exposed to so many texts shared by the same teacher, the same school of thought, and negating other school of thoughts. We are not saying that that school of thought is wrong. We are saying today it is incorrect for you. Once you are matured, then you surely take. There are people who have learned perfectly the Dvaita, perfectly the Advaita, perfectly the Vishishtadvaita, and they know they are sitting. Now I am sitting in Vishishtadvaita boat and I can talk as per that. The moment I wear that hat of Advaita, I have dropped the Vishishtadvaita thought process itself. The thought process is different. If you are able to do it, perfectly okay, nothing wrong in it, because all are parallelly happening at this. But there will be, if you keep challenging it, at one point, one ends, other thing continues. Very logically, the Dvaita will stop first, the Vishishtadvaita continues. Vishishtadvaita stops, Advaita still continues. That is why we say, for Advaiti, we have absolutely no problem. Whether you are a Sankhya, Yoga, Jaina, Buddha, Vishishtadvaita, Advaita, anyone, we only see you at a particular framework in that whole time. What is that? What is it called? The time.
Tapestry.
Huh? What is that?
Tapestry. It's a woven
Whatever.
snapshot of everything.
Whatever. So there you know, okay, this person is actually sitting here. उसको और ये सब पार करके इधर आने को time है. That's all. You don't dismiss the person. You know very clearly. Like for example, if we are all saying that we are all dharmic people, and if someone like behaves adharmic, what will you say? You will not dismiss the person. You will say, ठीक है. One day life will teach him where he will come to dharma. तभी बाद में का देखा जाएगा, तभी तो दरवाजे तक तो आएगा. You will not say that he has to be thrown away from the society. No, you will not. If you say that, then you are not into Advaita. Look at that. Think about it. Because the moment you are a student, a true student of Advaita, that Aham Brahmasmi is sitting somewhere at the back of your mind. You would have not understood anything about it, but still you know he is also that Brahman, I am also that Brahman. How can I be away from him, and how can I throw him out of what? Impossible. I will not be able to prove it or tell, but I know for sure कि दोनों एक वीक धागा से तो बांधा है, दो अलग है, चलो फिर भी वो भी ब्रह्मन है, मैं भी ब्रह्मन है, उतना तक तो है, और दोनों ब्रह्मन एक नहीं है, चलो अभी. But you can't dismiss that person. So we all are in different state of that complete continuum of learning, and then accordingly you space yourself. तो एक पड़ाव पार करने के बाद it's better to expose to others. Otherwise, you know what will happen? Apart from that stopping you to learn, you will have unwantedly ill feeling about other mata, which is not required. Having an ill feeling of some other Sankhya or Yoga is not necessary. Is it necessity for Vedanta? Is it necessity for a Vedanta that you should say that is bad? Not necessary. We can come close together. At this point we differ. I will go this way, you go that way. That is okay. Okay. तो इसको साथ में पकड़ के जोड़ के आगे जाने के लिए it will take time, and that maturing time is mananam time. Yeah, hopefully I am able to clarify your doubt.
Very, very clear. Thanks for that.
But
Very clear.
if you go to Shruti, and especially when you start reading bhashyas, learning bhashyas, that is the time you will see these acharyas themselves, they will pose as Purva Paksha Siddhanti. Even you go to Tarka Shastra, Nyaya Shastra, Vaisheshika, all that starts that way. You want a small flavor of Tarka Shastra? The first statement Annam Bhatta gives, Annam Bhatta, who has written the Tarka Shastra Vashyam of Nyaya Vaisheshika, he says Sapta Padarthani, there is a full statement. Okay. The moment he has made this statement, the next statement is Purva Paksha. He has not even explained what he has written. He has just said that there are 7 padarthas in the world. Immediately, how can you say there are only 7? Why not 8? Is a question asked. For that he has to give a logical answer. Then for that this Purva Paksha will say, why can't you consider this aspect to be the 8th one? For which he will say, I have considered this among the first 7, and hence only I establish again that there is only 7. Then the Purva Paksha further asks a question, why it cannot be that one among the 7, and why you say all of the 7? You know, Tarka goes that way. Huh? Every sentence, you have the next person to pounce back and say, why not this? For that you give a justification. And this is not given by us. The writer himself sits wearing the other cap like a lawyer and behaves like the Purva Paksha. In case you have a doubt like this is my answer to it. In case you have a doubt like this is my answer to it. Think about it. If that much is the depth they have thought, after listening to it, then we get a question, oh, such a question can be asked. Till that we are not even aware that such a question can be asked. So bhashyas will now open you out to so many such things, and then enrichment happens. Enrichment means what? You know what is enrichment? What is enrichment?
Multiple perspectives, ability to look at.
What is enrichment? Word enrichment.
Purer. Purity, it sharpens.
कचरा
Sharpens the
निकाल
mind.
के और कचरा निकालो और कचरा निकालो with the same. That means nothing new is added. Enrichment means if I have a 60% gold, I remove kachra to make it 80% gold. I don't add new gold to it. That 80% gold becomes 90% gold. that becomes 99% gold. The same thing I remove further refinement, it becomes 99.9999 gold. That enrichment is mananam process. Nothing new will come. But it takes a lot of effort. As you know, 50, 60, 70 के लिए इतना effort में फट करके मिल जाता है. But the more you go around 80, 90, बहुत effort करने के बाद थोड़ा आगे जाएगा, और effort करने के बाद थोड़ा आगे जाएगा. That is how it is. And this enrichment comes and you start enjoying it. I am telling you all have to get exposed to Bhashyas. You will enjoy it. That variety of thought. There are some people who are there who are listening to Vishnu Sahasranamam Bhashyam. Can't you see the various imagination of words and the grammar and the way things they are just touching about? We feel, wow, ye sab bhi hai, but then to bring that at that place and then connect it, how much of knowledge is just sitting in that? How much of depth in that each and everything? It is not a shallow thing at all. It is not like we saying, Aam Brahmasmi and going chappal dal diya, bhul gaya. No way. If that small words have got such depth they have gone, you mean to say in Mahavakyas and all, they will leave it this way? You have seen the flavor, Pavitranam Pavitranyo Mangalanancha Mangalam. How many? He has talked for 35 pages, not one or two. Adi Shankara, 35 pages he has taken. Only that one word. Which is that word he has taken? Ekam, sitting in the question. Kim ekam daivatam loke, he has taken that and 45 pages he has written. Are we joking? So if you have to know it, you have to read it. It won't come. You have to go and read it. It is all available. You have to read it, understand, get the meaning of it. Then you know the flavor of it. Once you know the flavor, then you know what happens. It only tells our knowledge is so insignificant. There is such a lot more to learn. There is such a lot more to learn. Unless I learn these things, I don't think I will be ready to understand Shrutimatis Tarkonusandhiyatam. Unless I learn all these ancillary ones, I will not know Vakyarthascha Vicharyatam. It is very difficult. That means should I leave it? No. I will do it as much as I can. Then what will happen if I die? That assurance and LIC we have already given you. You will not miss out anything. Next Janma you will get. All this I have got Adrishtyam also. You will be born in a Kulaguru's family, where it is there right from childhood. Only these things will be going on. So you will learn it much faster. What more you want? Right? So, slowly, see, we have to look at our move in the past 2 years. Don't you see your depth increasing than what it was 2 years back? How did it come? Only by exposure to many such things. Learning it, consistently learning it, slowly learning it. We did not have any agenda or we did not have a goal that we will complete this by this date and finish it. No stress. You mean to tell me, have you learnt anything better if you would have kept an examination? Surely not. Few things you would have done ratta and come that time and written. After that what? That is not going to be knowledge, right? Knowledge is when it is to be with you and available for you when you want it. Correct? So we can't be sitting and saying, Am Ananda Swarupa. What to do, Swami? I am Ananda Swarupa. That is not knowledge. I know I am Ananda Swarupa, that is why I am crying. That doesn't work. Right? So I think we are doing a good job. I am personally feeling that it is helping all of us. All will be at a different level. Don't worry about it. But positively all are moving ahead. All are looking at same direction at least. And moving. Some will be going in tortoise speed. Some will be going in hare speed. Someone will have fallen down, again gone back. Someone would have gone and opened Tattvabodha again to see nothing wrong in it. Nothing wrong. All these are enrichment and giving us a clarity of what we are doing. And let us continue to do. Jitna hai chalte rahega gaadi. Right? So we are not going to, that is why I am saying this Janma and all, don't aspire moksha and all. We have to learn a lot to get moksha. So what I will do is consistently put effort to learn. I am not bothered of moksha or bandhaka, both. I am not bothered about that. I am not at all. I should feel good that I learned something and that has changed my perspective of myself and the world. That much if it is happening, we are all seeing the same direction and working, going ahead positively. Right? So with this, we are completely Purnaha, not at all Apurnaha, and to assure each one of us, we have to say Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Right. So we'll meet next Sunday. Next Saturday, sorry. Okay. Chalo. Hariyo.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Dhanyawad.
sir.